Welcome to my world. Another day, another time for knowledge acquisition. Knowledge is power, health is wealth. Today's topic is muscular dystrophy unraveled. You may not understand muscular dystrophy. Dystrophy of the muscle has to do with all of a sudden you start finding the muscle wasting. The muscle, rather than building up, it is now diminishing, wasting away, and thereby even showing clearly that our limbs, our bones are not what necessarily the only thing that make us stand erect, that our muscles play a very important part in our posture in life. So the muscle is very important. You can see all the Mr. Universe and go posting with their muscles, and that shows you that muscles really gives us that physical structure. And we will go on to see how the wasting, the understanding of how our muscles could waste and cripple the person. It cripples the person. When you watch Mr. Universe, you see all the muscles being displayed. You wonder what is making it possible. But it is more of the dystrophin. There is a protein that when it is present, it allows all these muscles to really pack on itself and you can exercise and put it to shape. But when it is lacking, the muscles will just waste away as you experience. As you experience the thinning of the limbs become thinner and the person becomes crippled. He cannot really stand erect anymore. The muscles waste away. The objective of this video is to create the necessary awareness of the different muscular dystrophy and expose the role of the medical laboratory scientists in unraveling the causes that aids effective treatment. That is mainly. Clinically, there are four main types of muscular dystrophy, and the most common and having a very short life is Duchenne muscular dystrophy. Like I had said, it affects the skeletal muscles and make the children cripple very early. Some of them are on wheelchairs, and some die by age 5 or even 15. So luckily, you can see from the picture here that as the whole muscle posture, you can see they are all male because it is linked. The Duchenne muscular dystrophy is linked to the X chromosome, X and Y chromosome. It is a genetic problem passed on, and it affects mainly the male child. The next type, which is also sex linked, is the Becker muscular dystrophy, and that one starts at a later age, and they could get as old as 50 years, 60 years or more, and it affects the limbs. That's why you can see the deformity in the muscles, the toes and every other region there. This picture shows the different type of muscular dystrophy, and you can see that is the Cheney that lives not too long. By life expectancy, we find the Cheney life expectancy up to 16 years. Becker has a longer life expectancy. There is the Emery Dreadful MD, the distal, and the last one is the myotonic MD. Type 1 may live into their 20s. Type 2 is normally more milder. So when you see them, you can always understand better. There is also the spontaneous muscular dystrophy that just starts just like that with no inheritance at all, but the person becomes the first person displaying the genetic mutation. And though Ronnie Coleman's case is not well defined. Let us now go into the laboratory diagnosis. The laboratory diagnosis shows the importance of the laboratory scientists in helping in this kind of problem. So I shall expose you more to what the area where the medical laboratory scientists come in and new areas that is now called genetic test. That is also something that the laboratory scientist is highly involved. Creatinine kinase levels could also be called creatinine phosphokinase test. It takes the protein that makes the enzyme, which will always look at when there is muscular dystrophy damage, muscle cells. They release CK into the blood just like other muscles if there is a trauma, but you could differentiate. Number 2 is muscle biopsy. When the sample is collected and examined in the laboratory, that little sample taken from the thigh would show whether it is the Duchenne type or the Maida-Becker type. There is also the genetic testing. This is a new field when you talk about genomics. This will show the mistake in the dystrophin gene. The dystrophin gene mutated, and then you start experiencing the problem of the thinning out. You experience the thinning out, and the fat start building up instead of muscles. And you can also understand that with genetic testing, you could know whether you are a carrier, since it's a hereditary problem, and by so doing you can prevent marrying another carrier, which will now predispose to giving birth, 1 in 4 chance of giving birth to a muscular dystrophy child in future. My effort is very clear: to create more understanding on health matters. And if you like my effort, subscribe, so that would also encourage me in a way to put in more effort to produce more quality health issues and do more research to aid more understanding on any health issue, especially the ones that have been unraveled by the medical laboratory field. Thank you.